Hey everyone, I'm Jack Hammer, and thank you for joining me today. As you know, if you've been following my channel, I've been spending a lot of time going through all the quarterback possibilities for the 49ers that were coming up in the draft. The draft is now passed. Trey Lance was the pick. So I want to go through, there's a couple of games that I did not broadcast yet and actually break down on YouTube for Lance. And part of that was because I wasn't sure if he was going to be the pick or not, and I wanted to leave a couple of extra games for us to go through to kind of look at him and try to watch him now and see Trey Lance and how he would possibly fit into the 49ers offense in both the passing game and the running game. So let's go ahead and jump right into the game. The cool part about a lot of the Trey Lance film, you know, one of the things that you've heard a lot about since this pick was made and even in the run-up to the draft was the lack of passing attempts from Trey Lance. And some of that has to do with the fact that, you know, sure, North Dakota State didn't throw a lot of passes because they were running the ball well at times. Some of it also has to do with the fact that he just had to scramble because his wide receivers weren't open. And some of it has to do with, like we're going to see in this game here, where he gets pulled out of the game before the start of the fourth quarter. And so he misses a whole quarter's worth of possible snaps and throws. Because you got to remember, back in 2019, nobody was expecting that was going to be Trey Lance's only season in college football. They were expecting him to come back in 2020. You know, they won the national championship at the beginning of 2020, in January of 2020, and 3 months later, the world was pretty much shut down and the football season was canceled. And that was ended up being his 1 year at North Dakota State. So let's go ahead and let's jump right into this game. This is actually the season opener for 2019, Trey Lance's first start, really his first meaningful action. He did see a little bit of action in 2018, but we're going to go ahead and watch this one here, and let's go ahead and get it started. On this one, a lot of times as I've gone through these, I fast-forwarded through the running plays. I'm not going to do that quite so much on this one because with Lance being a running threat, I do want to talk about that a little bit as well. So I want to make sure that I don't miss any of his running plays. But they start off the game here. You know, this is a typical 49ers type of thing. They come out in 22 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs. That's what 22 stands for. The first number is the number of running backs. The second number being the number of tight ends. So on this play, you've got 2 running backs in the backfield, a fullback and a halfback, and then you have 2 tight ends. And they start off with a little run. They gain a yard. Next play here, 2nd and 9. They're coming out in 12 personnel. So now they have the 1 running back and they have 2 tight ends. And they're going to run the ball here again, and it's going to set them up. It's a short run, kind of like on a read. This is something that, you know, that we've seen Kyle Shanahan run in his offense in the past when he was with RG3 in Washington. You know, and this is the 49ers have already have this play in their offense already as far as just the straight handoff. Now that they have a quarterback that actually threaten the defense, you know, you might be able to see a quarterback keep every once in a while off of that. So that's going to bring us to the first passing play of the game, though. So we're here at 3rd and 6, and they're going to come out, and they're in 12 personnel again. So once again, they've got 1 running back, 2 tight ends. What's going to happen on this play is you're going to get the running back's going to run a flat up here. He's going to be working as this play unfolds. You're going to see him working the left side of the field. The halfback is going to run a flat, and this tight end's going to come up here, and he's going to run a little curl right in here. He's going to be reading this side, and it's going to open up pretty quick for him, and let's just watch it roll. Tight end's kind of getting blocked as he gets contacted as he starts into his route. The flat is wide open. He hits the flat. Not the most perfect throw, but it's not a bad throw either. Let me go a little bit slower here. Just slow it down slightly. You see the tight end contacts the linebacker who's trying to get out into the flat. They're playing cover 3. It looks like either cover 3 or a man look, and he's not able to get. They have a collision there at the tight end, and so Lance, you're going to see it here. You're going to see his eyes actually go from the tight end to the flat. It's real subtle, but you can see there he's looking at him, and then you see his eyes turn to the flat. So he was looking. He was going to go to the tight end on the curl first. He saw he wasn't covered, and he got the ball out quick to the flat for completion to the running back and a conversion for a first down. So they move the sticks there. Next play, 1st and 10. They're back into 22 formation. They got 2, but they're doing this out of shotgun now. And this is just a zone stretch play. We saw, if you watched my breakdown yesterday, of Trey Sermon. You saw Ohio State run the stretch play quite a bit, and this is basically the same thing except for with a lead back as well. A little bit different. Just an outside sweep really is what this is. Nice gain. Picks up a first down, and we're going to come right back now. It's going to be 1st and 10. They're going to come out in 21 formation. So they got 2 backs, 1 tight end. And right here, what you're going to get, this is if you've watched any of my other breakdowns on Trey Lance, you've seen this play a number of times. This is one of the plays that they really like to do. They run the ball so well. They're just going to run a little play action here in the backfield. You're going to get about a 12-yard curl, 10 to 12-yard curl out of this receiver here. You're going to get the same thing on the top, and then you get the tight end running a vertical down the middle of the field. So he's going to turn his back to the defense. Pre-snap, he's deciding that he's going to be working. I think it's pre-snap. He's just decided that he's going to work the bottom of the field. You just look at the way the defense is playing them. They run the ball so well. There's not a defender any deeper than 8 yards off the ball. This guy right here is the deepest defender. He's only 8 yards down the field. He makes a check here at the line of scrimmage, possibly an audible. Play action, and he puts this right on the receiver for a completion and a nice run after the catch. He actually has the opportunity here if he wanted to. He misses a touchdown. He has this tight end wide open. He's just runs right by him. It's all based. This play is basically, having watched them run this play a number of times, it's all based off of pre-snap determination on where he thinks it's going to open. Don't really ever see him look to either the curls and then go back to the middle, or look to the middle and then go to the curls. It's a quick hit your back foot and throw it to the guy that you want to go to. They get him in a man coverage here. Gets to the receiver. It's a nice run after catch. Get the first down. Nice play for a first down. 49ers like to run curls. That was one of the things, if you watch all the breakdowns with Mac Jones that we watched from Alabama, and talked about that quite a bit. But it's an easy throw, and it's one that Lance can really complete, and especially with his arm strength, he should be able to do that fairly well with the 49ers. Hey, Lucas, good to hear you from Austria today. And we got Luke on here. Luke's one of the guys that joins all the time. He really knows his stuff when it comes to the 49ers. So it's always good to have both those guys on here with us. I'm going to fast forward through just a little bit here. They had the play action on this, the false start here. So it sets them back, gives them 2nd and 15. Now they come out and they're in an 11 formation, and they're going to run the ball here. But this time now 11 means 1 tight end, 1 running back. Spreads the defense out a little bit, and they try to hit it up the middle. Really nice run by the running back as he gets stopped in the hole. Just watch Lance and see if he's making any checks or anything like that, because he's one of the few quarterbacks who actually makes the checks at the line of scrimmage without having to look at the sideline first to get it. So it's kind of interesting to watch him operate at the line of scrimmage. Now they come out here and they're in. Really, this is 13 personnel. They have 1 running back, 3 tight ends, and only 1 receiver. Another little trap play up the middle for a nice gain. So they've gone from 1st and 15 to 3rd and 5 here with a couple of runs. I'm going to fast forward it here just a little bit. This is 3rd and 5. They're going to have to call a timeout. There's a little bit of a miscommunication in the backfield. This is the running back. He wasn't supposed to come in and line up there, and we'll see that when they come back onto the field. Good job by the quarterback realizing the mistake, what's going on, realizing the clock situation. Now they come right back out. They're in the same formation that they were. Here's your running back right here. This is going to be very similar to something that we've seen the 49ers run a number of times. You're going to see 4 go in motion on a jet sweep, basically a fly sweep because it's a handoff instead. Lance holds onto the ball, though, and they basically run a trap up the middle. Makes one guy miss, actually gets through the tackle with one guy, and he's gone. This is something that in the 49ers offense with Deebo Samuel, they run this quite a bit. Bring this guy in motion. The difference is instead of handing it to him, they'll toss it to him, so it ends up being a pass play. But this could be a great play for the 49ers. Not something that you're going to want to run a lot of, because you don't want to necessarily send your quarterback into the middle of the line of scrimmage a lot of times against NFL defenses. But every once in a while, it can be a good thing, because what you see here is if you kind of got a little bit extra flow coming out. They've got their eyes on the quarterback, but they've outflanked the defense already. They've got these two guys here. This guy's going to be lead blocking. This guy's wouldn't be able to make the tackle on that anyway. One guy misses, and it's up the gut for a touchdown. So, this is a really nice way for the 49ers when they do get Lance into the game to just kind of have a little added wrinkle to what we've already seen them doing. It's not something that you're going to want to run a lot of. This is a really nice play. Watch the 42, the linebackers right, just, bounces off of his thighs. Nice run for a touchdown. So, it's just a really nice opening drive there. It was only a couple of pass plays. You saw the pass in the flat. That was a nice read, and he got it out of his hands quick, and his receiver was able to catch the ball and stride to the sidelines, turn it up, and get the first down. He hit the curl right between the numbers, and then a nice run for a touchdown there at the end. Second possession now. Good field position. They're going to come out. This is 21. I think this is 21. I'm not sure if this is a tight end or not. It's either going to be 21 or it would be 20 with no tight ends. You'd think that this guy would be like a tight end, though. One of these two, but it might be receivers. So they've kind of got them spread out here. They've got 7 in the box. So it's basically 7 on 7. So they've got the advantage in the box right now. And now you see that play is an outside sweep. This is basically, it's like the jet sweep, except for they're doing it without the pre-snap motion, right? And then you have Lance running the fake up the middle, and it just, everything is at this point. Let's watch. You see how the linebackers, they've got to all stay inside. So those linebackers aren't able to get that heavy flow to the outside. So you really have your wide receivers one-on-one on the outside, and you've got the running back as well. Putting Deebo Samuel in motion and being able to do this with him and having Lance in the backfield, even against NFL competition, would be deadly. Because think of how many times we saw Deebo Samuel having to run through players on jet sweeps in 2020. And even in 2019, whereas now, if they have that threat and they're not able to to overload and really flow heavy to the outside, it becomes like this, where it's more one-on-one, and you've got the guy's downfield 5-10 yards before he's even getting contacted, and that's perfect for the 49ers. Next play, they come out here in 21 personnel. This is going to be a shot play. It's going to be off of play action, and you're going to get vertical on the outside to the left. Here he is making the check at the line of scrimmage. And he gets the ball up, and it's a little bit over his shoulder. Would have been a little bit easier catch if he'd left this a little bit more inside. This guy just makes a really nice catch. But again, look at the threat of the run for North Dakota. Everybody's at the line of scrimmage. I mean, even the safety. The safety is only 7 yards off the ball. This guy's only 8 yards off the ball. They're all up tight, and I'm pretty sure these guys are in man coverage here. He is. See, so you've got man across the board. You got a receiver just running right by him, and he makes a nice throw and for a touchdown. He could have left that one a little bit more inside and made it an easier catch for his receiver. Would have been fine, because there's nobody there's nobody in the middle of the field anyway. It's wide open. It's a beautiful catch on the end. I don't think that's the best ball because of where it's placed and the way that he has to reach up and look over his head. But it's a really nice throw, good read, good stuff. So, I appreciate all you guys joining. I see you there, Josh and Cody and definitely understand, Lucas. That's quite a time difference. 1 o'clock in the morning. That's some dedication to the 49ers. So appreciate it. So far we've seen 3 passes, 3 completions, a touchdown run. Now they're going to come out here in the next possession here, 1st and 10 out of 21 personnel. We're going to have a running play. See Lance making a check at the line of scrimmage. Looks like it's basically just an ISO right up the gut for 6 yards. An ISO play would be if the fullback's leading on like 49 right here. It's similar. Second and 4, 21 personnel again, because this is a running back right here, number 4. They run the fake jet sweep, and this time they run right back up the middle, but this time they do it with the running back instead of the quarterback. So all kinds of different ways that you can attack that middle, but the threat of the quarterback, really helps that out as well. 1st and 10, 22 personnel again. Right up the middle for a nice run, gains about 8 yards. 6 yards. And we're going to have, we'll see him here in 2nd and 4 now. This time they come out and they're in 11 personnel. You got 3 receivers over here, 1 tight end, 1 running back. But what's going to happen is this is going to be the same play that we saw them open the game up with. So if you remember the first pass play of the game on 3rd and 6, we had the tight end running a curl with this guy running a flat. They're going to come out and do that same. They're going to be running the same play. 2 deep safeties. Let's see what happens at the snap. Let me slow this down just a little bit before I run it. But again, he's going to be reading the top of the screen. He's going to be reading to his left. If the man drops off into the flat, he should have the curl wide open. And if they sit on the curl, he should have the flat open. So that's his read right here. They bring pressure off the edge. You see the man jump out to the flat. Boom. Hits the curl quick. This is something that we've seen the 49ers run with George Kittle. This is a nice completion. It's not the most, he doesn't hit him in the stomach, but it's not a bad throw either. It's off to the side a little bit. It's a short throw. The guy jumps out into the flat, leaves the curl wide open. Kind of tackles him a little bit with the throw. It's a good read, though. Goes to the right spot. We just like to see that ball be a little more catchable. Let's watch his feet. You see him kind of get a little caught up with his footwork there as he goes to throw. He kind of gets, watch his front foot. It just kind of gets caught in the ground a little bit. I think that might have been part of the reason for the inaccuracy on the ball. Speed up just a little bit and we'll watch this one from the end zone. He's reading 49 because 49 is going to be the one he's going to see him taking off basically because they're in man coverage here again. He wants to hit that outside shoulder because of the way 17's playing. He needs to get that ball up. If that ball's up a little bit more, just give the tight end the chance to catch the ball, spin and make a play would have been a better throw. Then here we've got first and 10, 21 formation. They get a run, gain 6. Let's fast forward it through this one. Sets them up with 2nd and 4, and they're in 12 personnel here. And this play, ends up being a turnover. The ball snapped up a little bit to his left. He's not able to control it. When you watch it from this end zone view, it's a tough one because the ball gets snapped to where his running back is. So it's just a mishandle, but it's the running back's hands going up and he's trying to get the ball and he's not able to get it. Ball ends up on the ground and that's one turnover there. So a negative play for them. It's off of a bad snap, really, though. It's hard to fault the quarterback, but if it had been off to his right side, he probably would have been able to catch it. But going to his left with a running back right there, I think that just added to the difficulty of it. So we're going to come out now, 1st and 10. The next series, they're right back around midfield, so I think they might have stopped him or got the ball back on a turnover. 1st and 10, 22 formation, they're going to run it, so I'm going to fast forward through this one. We got a hold, so it sets them up in 1st and 20. And they're in 21 personnel. We're going to get play action with the rollout to the right. It's a waggle, and the reason I say waggle is you're going to get somebody coming out here to help block. He does a nice job of gaining depth and having to, because he's got the defender coming right at him. He does a really nice job using his athleticism to get away from that. He's got the blitzer who beats the tackle. If he doesn't have this guy right in his face, he's probably going to have this second level receiver open for a little bit deeper completion. But with this guy right in his face, he's got to get the ball out of his hands quick. Does a good job of gaining depth. Puts it on 44, who then turns it upfield. I mean, that looks like Jimmy Garoppolo. It looks like the 49er offense with Kyle Juszczyk. Play action, get him the ball in the flat, and this ball's thrown a little bit behind him, but it stops him, and he's able to get going right away. They over pursue him, and he's able to dive for a nice gain. So they take a first and 20 and turn that into 2nd and 3 with a simple little play action, flat route, nice throw, especially with the guy in his face to get the ball out of his hand, put it on his receiver where he could get it, and they get the first down. Then we're going to have a run play here on the next possession, the next play, and we're going to get 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 here. They're going to run the ball again. This is they're going to run their fly sweep. It's jet sweep. The 49ers would call it a jet sweep because they toss it, but they're going to hand this one off to 4. 4 is one of their running backs. Defender does a nice job. You see it kind of, you're going to see the fake here out of Lance. He's going to give the jet, and then he's going to go up the middle just like he did on the touchdown earlier. If they had run the quarterback run right there, that's a big play, because if you see what happens there, that they decide they're going to try to shoot 42 through the gap. I'm going to tell you what, there's no way if 42 even gets through here, he's going to make the play, because he's behind the running back when the ball's handed off anyway. And they just leaving the backside open. You see that start to happen as a coach, and you're going to start running that play, and you're going to have the quarterback keep it and run right off to the left side, because it should be open. But they get stopped there on the outside. They did a nice job. Defense did Butler there. So next possession starts off with a run. They're in 12 personnel. Off tackle, just a outside zone for a first down. And it's going to set up 1st and 10, and they're going to be out in 21 personnel. You saw them run this already. They're going to run play action. They're going to run verticals again. And this time they've got it pretty well covered on both the bottom and the top. It's definitely covered better. He just underthrows this ball, though. He's got him. If he gets this ball out in front, he's kind of running out of room because of the end zone. But if he gets this ball in front of him just a little bit, it could be a touchdown. He misses that by about 2 yards. If he gets this ball, and you can see it better from this angle. Play action, does a nice job of turning his back. Nice ball. He gets nice loft on it, but he's got to get that out in front of him more. If he gets it out more to about where that dirt is right there, I think the receiver is going to be able to make the play. He's got him beat. Just a little underthrown, and that ends up actually being the one incompletion that Lance throws in this game. uh, run here on, second down, gets him a first, so 2nd and 10 gets him a first down. And then here on 1st and 10, the next play, they're going to run it again. See what they do. Yeah, it's just a little inside run. And now we've got 1st and 10. They're in 12 personnel. They're going to be working at the top of the screen here. What you're going to get is you're going to get this tight end. He's going to run deep. He's going to be running a deep corner. And then you're going to have this guy running a post, but when he's not going to be running straight up the field into the post. He's going to be taking his post a little bit out and then in. You're going to see pressure coming off the outside. They're going to bring both of these guys on pressure. So they end up with 2 guys on this defender right here ends up with 2 guys running at him. And Lance just has to pick one of them. He's got to pick the one that doesn't get covered, and he does a nice job of that here. There's your pressure off the edge, 2-on-1. Wide open, easy throw. Sees it early, though, and gets the ball out quick. It's not like he's waiting long. As soon as, he's got that pressure coming, he sees that he's got just he's got both tight ends on that safety. As soon as that safety turns his hips, he knows he's got the middle of the field. Ball's out quick, and he hits him for a touchdown down the middle of the field. It's pretty from this end zone angle, because you can see how quickly the ball comes out. Let's slow it down just a little bit. See the guy, his back has just turned to him. He knows that he's got the middle of the field now. He's starting to throw. He's already starting to step. You see he has a tendency to kind of squat down, which is a little bit of a problem. You really want to, they're working on getting that out of his throwing motion. He puts it right on him for a touchdown. Nice play. Butler's in a terrible defense against it, and Lance does a good job and does what he needs to do and sticks it on his receiver for a first down. First and 10 here out of 11 personnel. On this one, you can see him at the line of scrimmage. Actually, they get up there. Let's just watch him work at the line of scrimmage again. Now he's making a check. He's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Never looked to the sideline. Hand off for a nice gain for 8 yards. 7 yards. He's making all the checks at the line. So then they come back here. This is the next play, and you've got 21 personnel, two running backs, 1 tight end. You're going to get basically a flood, basically going to be deep out with a flat. He's going to bootleg out to the right side. This is an element of the 49ers offense we haven't really been able to see. They just haven't had a quarterback that can move out like that right there and be able to be on the move and put that ball on a receiver. This is really nice. This is Trey Lance. Part of what he brings with that athleticism. Just it's an effortless throw, and it's right on the money into the hole. And Levin gets it for a nice completion and a first down. Really pretty, nice stuff. We'll get to some of your questions and comments here in just a minute. But after the waggle, we got a run here, and then this is a really nice one. I'm I've given Lance some, you don't see them work verticals down the middle of the field too often. And that's what we're going to get here. They're going to be in 11 personnel. You're going to get 3 verticals, but he's really working the middle of the field. He's got this tight end's going to run vertical here. He's got a vertical. This guy's going to run vertical, but more to the outside. So these 2 guys right here are his primary receivers. This receiver down here is just going to kind of run up a little bit and go inside, I believe. But as he's dropping back, he's going to be reading the free safety here. This is the safety, I believe, that he's going to be reading this. Watch as they roll. Nope. So what happens, they roll this safety up. This guy steps back. You see his eyes right here. His eyes are on this safety. This safety is going to tell him where to go with the ball. This guy stays over the top of number 2, which is here, which tells him that he needs to come back to this guy here. And he does, and he throws it for a touchdown. It's a little bit behind him, but it's a really nice read. And he picks this up really quick because they have kind of a cover 4 look because these corners aren't up tight. So that's why I say it's cover 4. That's what it looks like. As the play's starting to roll, you see this guy start to come down. But this is a really nice job. Lance sees it right away. He knows that this is the guy he's going to be reading. He holds him over the top of number 2 right here. And so now that's why he knows he's got the backside. Just a really nice play. Good job by him. Decisive. Gets the ball out of his hand quick. The only thing that I'd say on this one is I want to see him throw the ball a little bit more to the middle of the field because he kind of keeps us to the outside a little bit too far. You're going to see him. He kind of throws it behind him, and a little bit bigger cornerback's going to be able to possibly knock that ball down. But he does a good job reading left, keeping the safety over the middle of the field. He gets some pressure in his face, throws it right over the top of that. You just got to get that ball a little bit more into the inside. Not a lot. We're talking about, probably about a foot, inside. That's going to be more than enough space for that free safety not to get there. So big play there for a touchdown. There's only a couple more series in this game. So real quick before we get too much further down. Luke says, I think the challenge for Lance is perfecting the layups, like the well-timed throws of the flat, slants. I think with him, the layups that he has, when you watch him, the only real time that I've seen him have trouble with layups, and it doesn't show up in this film, but it shows up in some of his other games, is those little easy throws of the flat. Those are the ones that he misses, and it's not that he gets them completed, but he just kind of tackles the runner with it, and that's the only real problem that I've seen with layups. Other than that, he usually is pretty darn good with them. People talk about how often he runs, but when you really watch it, a lot of times he's having to run because his receivers aren't athletic enough to get themselves open, and he's actually doing a good job of taking off running because the play's dead. Otherwise, Staxby says, glad he caught it. Thank you very much for saying that, and appreciate you on that one. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there's a live stream coming up at 5 o'clock that I'll be on, but as far as the rest of his schedule, I don't know what Grant's schedule is. Grand Riser says it could have been picked and then he says if he threw it more to the middle field. That I understand what you're saying there. I don't think it would have been picked. I'm not talking about him throwing it way to the middle field. I'm talking about, we're literally talking about probably this far, about this much difference between having that ball go over the top of that cornerback and having it inside. He had plenty of room with his arm to be able to get it there. But, that's just, again, that's me being really nitpicky with the throws. And, if I was his coach, I'd be saying we need to work on getting that ball a little bit more on the inside so that it's an easier catch for the receiver, take the defender out of the play, those kind of things. But I understand what you're saying. Let's see what else we got. Cody asks, is Lance as pro-ready as Wentz was? Yeah, Lance is doing everything that Wentz did. Here's one thing you got to remember. Wentz had one full season at at North Dakota State. That's it. He played one full season. He played more than that, but he got injured in his last season there. He didn't play the full season the year before that, so I think it was his I'm not sure if it was his junior or his sophomore year, but Wentz only played one year that he was at North Dakota State that he played the full season. So he had roughly the same number of pass attempts in that one season as Lance. He had about 4 or 5 more per game. So not a big difference, but from a pro ready standpoint, I would say yes, because they're doing all those same things, right? So as far as pre-snap and all those kind of things. So let's get back to it. They're already beating the heck out of him here. It's 1st and 10, 21, 22 personnel here. A run up the middle. I'm going to fast forward through these next couple. You get a run up the middle here. They're going to, on the next play, it's 2nd and 6. They actually score a touchdown, but it gets called back for a chop block below the waist. So that's going to set them up with second and 20. Let me just do this. 2nd and 20. Now they're in at the 2-back set, and they're just going to run it's basically just a quarterback trap. They've been running that jet sweep, and they ran that earlier in the game. This is kind of the same thing, except for instead of having the running back coming from way outside, it's just across the formation here. But it's other than that, it's the same. His fake, it's just that the fake's here instead of the guy coming from wide. It's the same play that they ran for the touchdown earlier. The defense does a better job of staying home the time, and they stop it for a gain of 2. Now we're looking at 3rd and 18. They're in 11 formation, and this is where Trey Lance really is going to can hurt you, because he's got the athleticism. It's 3rd and 18. They've got you spread out, receivers across the board, and they're just going to run a quick draw. One guy gets beat, and he's down the sideline, and this is where you don't want to see him to be doing that when he gets to the 49ers. You want to see him do this. Everything about this play is perfect. It's all stuff that you could see him doing. If he's in a 49er uniform, you just like to see him when he gets to that sideline. Just go ahead and step out of bounds, at the next level. Get those yards. Just keep going outside and just step out of bounds right there around the 18-yard line. You got to, you've picked up the 1st down. Let's go on to the next play. We don't want to see you getting hit any more than we need to. That's stuff that he could get away with, now that we're not going to want to see him taking the punishment down the road. Just keep running. Just keep running to the sideline. Just keep on trucking. No need to try to play with those guys like that. A couple of running plays here out of 22 personnel here. Do it again. Sets them up with 1st and goal. First and goal, 22. Play action, boot. Does a great job of making the man miss, and he's got his tight ends wide open. His tight end was wide open the whole way, but he had to just watch the athleticism here. They got the guys there to get him. He's got one guy that's got him. He makes him miss. 42's got him right there, and he just outruns the linebacker, and then it's an easy pitch and catch for a touchdown. But that's all in the quarterback. There's nothing special here other than, watch 42. The safety's got him dead to rights, or the linebacker does. He should, and he just uses his athleticism. Says nope, gets outside, and nice throw for a touchdown. Easy. It's an easy throw, but the athleticism here to get outside is what wins the play for them. And then a nice little throw down the middle. So they're winning big. This is getting right to the end of it here. 1st and 10, 12 personnel. We're going to see quarterback take off. Oh, sorry. Almost. I got ahead of myself. This was a fumble. Defense has scored. Yes, he gets hit from behind. He doesn't see the guy coming, and the guy knocks it out of his hand. 58 does a nice job of coming back. He doesn't see it and knocks it out. But anyway, so we jump into the next series. There's only a few more plays. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to fast forward here a little bit. Second one. So this is 1st and 10. They're in 12 personnel. This is going to be Lance's last play of the pass of the game. We're going to see on this one, he's got this receiver here is going to be running. He's going to be running a deep corner, and this receiver is going to be running a little in. He's going to be reading left over here. Let's go ahead and roll it. We read these two receivers at the bottom of the screen. It's an easy read for him because the corner just drops back so quick. Right here, he knows that he's got this guy. He's reading the middle of the field, but he knows that he's got the corner covered. Let's watch him. Comes down and hits it, and he's wide open. Not a hard throw at all. Let's watch his feet and his footwork. The only thing that I would nitpick on that one is he doesn't really ever step to the out, and that's part, I think, why the ball's a little high. He turns and throws, and he's got the natural power to be able to make this throw and get the ball there. But part of the reason why this ball is high is he's not able to really turn and throw it to the flat. He's still kind of stepping towards his feet are kind of still stepping towards the corner. And so he's kind of having to throw this. He's throwing this ball kind of across his body. He's got to get his arm up anyway, but he's throwing across his body, and so his release point's off a little bit. So his accuracy doesn't look as good as it should. The ball's a little high. The guy's wide open, so it doesn't really matter. But you'd expect in the NFL it's going to be a little bit tighter. Then a touchdown here, and then get to the last play. So here we are. We're back into 11 personnel. I don't think this is a tight end at the top. And it's going to be a touchdown run by the quarterback for a touchdown. This is what Trey Lance brings to the table outside of his passing, just a straight up the middle. And he never even gets touched by a defender. He's the only guy that touches him as he runs up to the back of his blocker. Beside that, he's gone. Watch it one more time. So when I first watched him, I said he does have a little bit of a Tim Tebow kind of a vibe to him because of his ability to run the ball. Yeah, and his size is similar, and there's certain aspects of his game that are the same. I think overall he's a better quarterback, but this is just a big athletic run. It's basically just almost like a quarterback ISO, and he's up out the gate for a touchdown, and I think they're up by like 50 at this point, or 50 to 20 or 50 to 14, 50 to 10. And now he's taking out of the game, and they got the backup in. So, pretty dominating performance for North Dakota State overall. Again, Lance in this game was what, 10 for 11. The only incompletion was the one deep throw down the right sideline. As one of our viewers pointed out, that was a blitz there. He had mentioned that, but Lance kind of showed this was his first start, so He's got 16 other games that he played in this season, but he comes out. He was 10 of 11, like 4 touchdowns throwing, a couple of touchdowns running. Really dominating performance, and we just got to watch and see how he progresses in the 49ers. With the 49ers, it'll be interesting to see how he goes through. Let's see. Kia says, Jack, how would you compare Lance to Wilson and Murray in our division? Would he be a pocket passer first, so move just enough to give our receivers time to get open, or would he just pull it down and run? Well, from what I've seen of him, when it comes to throwing the ball, he's not a guy who is going to be looking to just pull it down and run. The majority of the time, he does a really good job of trying to stay in the pocket and complete the pass, and then he takes off and runs once all of his options are kind of covered. But he's definitely, I think, more of a throw-first quarterback. That's why I had him ranked where I did. That's why when I did my final rankings, I had him be, as my second favorite quarterback. I had him ranked ahead of Justin Fields, specifically for that reason. I just felt like he was better from the pocket than Fields and more consistent with his footwork. So, and that's so when I'm comparing Lance to Wilson and Murray in this division. Wilson's better. Kyler Murray is a quarterback I'm not really high on. Kyler Murray really doesn't see the field very well. And a lot of his stuff comes from taking off and moving around. Wilson sometimes does that as well, but he's a little bit more consistent with staying in the pocket than Murray is. But yeah, both those guys are more scramblers. I think what you'll see with Lance is he's going to be more of a pocket quarterback who can run if need be. Raymond says, what's up? Although Shannon's offense is tough to learn, do you think Kyle will create a simpler version year one to accommodate? I don't know if he needs to, really. I don't think the part of Shanahan's offense that's difficult isn't what's happening once you get to the line of scrimmage. The difficult part for a quarterback in Shannon's offense is understanding all the verbiage. It's like going and taking remember back when you first went into high school and you had to take a foreign language in order to graduate? Let's say you took Spanish or French or German, whatever it was. You didn't know what the heck you were talking about for that first year, even though you might have passed the class. It wasn't until the second year when you're in Spanish 2 that you really were able to start having conversations. And that's really what Shanahan's offense is, because it's very, very heavy with it, the words and understanding what you're saying from the verbiage. It's like its own language. And with Lance, I don't think that's going to be an issue. He's a pretty smart guy, and I think that's part of why what drew him to the 49ers is they liked his ability to give him information, how quickly he absorbed it. I heard a story about, they gave him a bunch of stuff to look at, and he was able to get back to him, on his next Zoom call with him or whatever, basically saying, I got all this down and run through it, pretty effortlessly. So from picking up the offense standpoint, I don't think it's going to be that hard for him. I do think that there's going to be some interesting there could be some changes to the offense. I could see them maybe running some more quarterback runs and maybe doing some of the stuff that you saw them doing with RG3 in Washington. I think that fit perfectly with his style and with the running backs that they picked up. Lucas, thanks for joining all the way up from Austria. That's awesome. And keep watching, because we're going to be doing some more of these as we go through. Real quick before we head out, Luke says his first start after turning 19 years old the previous May. Yeah, so this was in September. He just turned 19 in May. So we're looking at a guy that's 19 months and 19 years and 4 months old, and tearing up a team in the FCS, and leads them all the way to the FCS championship along the way. So his birthday is May 9th. So we're both May guys. So maybe it's something to do with the Taurus, thing. Just kidding. I was nowhere near this kind of athlete, but Lance is a stud. I can't wait to watch him play in a 49ers uniform. There's a few more games of his that I have not shown yet that I'll definitely be breaking down. I also will be doing the other draft picks as well, but I wanted to start off with Lance since he's the starter or the quarterback, and he was the number 1 pick. But definitely we'll be doing a breakdown of Aaron Banks. We'll be doing another one of Trey Sermon. All these guys as we go through. kind of to lead us up into training camp and beyond. So really appreciate everybody that took the time to join today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Click the little bell so that you'll always be notified on when I'm going live. And if you're not following me on Twitter, that'll be one way you can do it. Otherwise, I'll make sure I try to let you guys know ahead of time on Twitter as well. So, like I said, keep yourself tuned to the channel. Definitely going to be doing a lot of breakdowns of all these draft picks, and eventually might even be able to get into some stuff where I'm showing them going into how they'd be working with the 49ers. Yes, I have some film on Elijah Mitchell as well, so it'll be all of them. I think I have stuff for all these guys. So anyway, really appreciate everybody, and you guys all have a great rest of your day, and we'll be back at you soon.